Because you love them all the same. It's hard to pick one. It's like a favorite child. Don't ask me.
Why are you talking like that?
That's my Zach impression.
Hi, my name is Zach. Hello.
Hello. You got to hear would you like to hear my vinyl records?
And
Everyone
bolts.
knows physical media is the best media.
Goldfish, but I've never
Wow,
chewed.
there's so many Zachs in the room right now.
Ash and Zach are super smart. They went to college and learned a bunch of stuff. And Bo and Andrew didn't go to college because that's just the way life goes sometimes. What happens when you put them together and you try to make them learn? Grab your friends, let's listen together on Get Dumped on an Info Dump podcast.
Welcome to Get Dumped On, an Info Dump podcast. This is the podcast where four friends get together, usually, and info dump their recent special interest knowledge on each other, something that they learned recently, something that they love to talk about. But today is a special episode because we have been doing this podcast for a year.
And you know what that means? I'll get my appointment.
Bo's gonna get a tattoo.
I really wish that you wouldn't. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Bo said that on the 1 year anniversary, although technically he said on the 1 year anniversary, if the fans remind me, then I'll do it. But we've never
I
forgotten
consider myself a
about it.
fan of this podcast.
I hate this podcast.
Bo,
I'm a fan.
Well,
of
then you
podcasts.
shouldn't get it tattooed on you.
But I hate myself too, so.
Okay. Well, anyway, I thought today we could take a little 1 year retrospective, look back, talk about some of our favorite episodes, maybe
It's a clip
like
show.
if we can if we remember anything like behind the scenes or whatever. But also I have some updates and some like new info that's come out since we've recorded on some of our episodes. So I thought it'd be nice to do a 1 year retrospective since I did not think that we would be doing this podcast for a year, but we have.
wow.
Wow.
But to be fair, I
It's
don't like
really hard
quitting
to,
things.
it's
So
really
like,
hard
why
to
would we
coordinate
stop?
4 adult schedules.
You
Okay,
had no faith,
It's so
in
hard.
us. I believe. Okay, that's cool.
I have realistic expectations, and y'all have exceeded them.
When did the first episode get posted? Was it February like 16th, 15th,
February
2023?
2023. That's all I know.
It
It was February 15th, 2023.
Uh-huh. Look
So when this comes out, I'm officially going to be able to say that the podcast is 1 year old and stop saying, like, when people have babies, they're like, my baby is 9 months, my baby is 10 months. And I'm not going to be that parent that goes past the 1 year part. So I'll
Well,
say 1 year and 1 month after that.
It won't be a year old when this episode is out.
This is right before it's a year.
When
Yeah.
it turns a year, you know what I'm saying?
We
Come
have
on.
something special for the 1 year mark officially. But before
Yeah.
we get there,
I'm gonna get naked.
I wanted to take a look at what we've done so far.
Well, we talked a lot.
Someone's going to
That's
get naked
so
in the
true.
next episode.
I would love it if somebody could transcribe all of the episodes and then say how many. Give me a count of how many words everybody said.
I want.
Wow.
I hope there's enough audio for.
I'm
they can
pretty
make
sure AI can
voices
do
of
that.
us. Yeah, I want AI voices
yeah.
of us now.
Yeah,
if you,
ChatGPT can
if
do
you
that.
go into ChatGPT and like tell it to do that, it might be able to.
We have to
Yeah.
stop doing the podcast.
Well, it was like when
No.
I was today. I watched Casino for the first time, and then I was looking up the like IMDb trivia after I watched the movie, as I do with every movie I watch. And it said that at one point when it was released, it was the wordiest movie ever released. It had more dialogue than any other movie.
The Gilmore Girls of movies.
I didn't really get that impression while watching it, so that's kind of surprising to me. It was pretty good. I think Goodfellas
You know, that
is better.
list, the list of wordiest movies, number 1 was Casino for a while until it got replaced by The Quiet Place.
I don't know. Citation
It was
needed.
the deaf people, the deaf movie.
Where they don't really
yeah,
talk.
No, yeah, we
It was
got
a
it.
joke. It was a joke.
we
Jesus
understood
Christ.
it.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
It's just-
Jokes
yeah,
make people
okay.
laugh, but none of us is laughing. See, that's a joke. They're laughing. See, I
See,
nailed
that
it.
was a
I don't know
delayed.
what's
It was a
happening
delayed one. Zach
anymore.
finally got it.
Yeah.
Oh, See, that was a good one. See, way to rebound from a shit fucking throw.
Got it, baby.
So what are some of y'all's favorite episodes?
Bird nerds.
That's
Bird
the
Nerds
first
is
one.
a great one.
What is
I think we
your
finally did
actual favorite episode?
Yeah. Bird Nerds, I feel like as an episode is one that I mean, it was a good one in that it got us to finally actually start recording the podcast, but it's not really that good of a one in terms of I didn't plan very much. And
Whoa.
the actual like information and stuff is a little half-assed. My end of the podcast I felt like I half-assed it, but it was good because it got the wheels turning.
That's what I tell people whenever people ask about the podcast. I say start at episode 4.
I say start at episode 3 because I actually really like the dentistry episode.
3 and 4 is a good like we start going uphill.
The dentistry episode is great because because it has the moment at the end when everyone is desperately trying to make me stop talking, but I still have things to say.
Is this where we play clips?
And you know what?
Do we play clips?
That wasn't the we tried to desperately get Zach to stop torturing us with his words, and that was not the first time.
What?
I mean, it was the first time, but it wasn't the last time.
Andrew, do you remember what episode it was that we messaged each other, just let him ramble, where we rambled for like 4 minutes straight?
There's a lot of them.
It was probably one of the archaeology ones.
I think it might be it. There's one specific one where we were messaging each other like, okay, don't say anything, just let him go, see how much he can go.
I don't remember that specifically because it's happened so often that I don't know.
I feel like that's mean. It's mean to tell it to be talking about me behind my back. And
That is
also
mean.
when
That's
I'm
mean girl
hosting the
behavior.
podcast, and the podcast is just people talking.
You guys thinking that the Cambrian explosion was an actual explosion?
Oh, that
Still
was
makes me
maybe
laugh.
the best.
That's
Maybe
on
the
you.
best moment.
That's your fault.
That's so funny.
Okay, so
That was your guys' fault.
I have the date of when we said we're gonna do this, where we let him keep talking. So I think it was the Peru part 2. Yeah, cool sights in Peru
That makes sense.
part 2.
Mhm.
The dates match
That
up
makes
for
sense.
that.
I have a lot of favorites. I don't really know like which one is my favorite because we've had so many good episodes and so many good guests too.
Oh,
Yeah.
All the guest episodes have been very good.
I
I've
think
loved
it's
every
Justin
single one
back.
of them.
If we get Justin back, I'd like him to be a 5th on an episode that I just read a book called The Wager. And people
Zach, why
who
are you
are
spoilering future episodes
it's
right
not
now?
it's not a spoiler. But I want to do an episode of the podcast. I feel like Justin would be a good 5th for that episode because it's about boats.
Yar.
No,
I guess-
so many episodes about boats.
There's one of my favorites.
Zach
and
likes
it's,
boats.
it's the one.
I like boats.
Yeah, the comfort food one. I love that one.
I like
because
the comfort
my
food
favorite
one.
part about that
It's a
episode with me
classic.
is I was against Zach, and then I started becoming Zach.
And
Yeah.
let me
I
Let me
think that
say
this
something.
episode has influenced.
Metamorphosis.
It's influenced our lives more than any other episode.
Oh my god!
I tried
Yeah.
Bo's bolusing technique with Cheez-Its and goldfish,
No.
and I didn't hate it. That's all I'm going to say.
God
It was
damn
a little hard to stop doing it once I got going.
I think it's the only episode that's really had real life impact.
Yes, I think so too. And I know people. See, I'm glad you said that you did that because I know there's probably people who, after listening to the episode, at least tried it once.
I hope so. And let me
Yeah.
tell you, and it's really like the bolus versus non-bolus debate. You know, it needs to be talked about. But also, like, I've become really aware of food, like bolusing in my mouth.
Yes.
Oh God.
I'm like, oh, this is a good bolus food or a bad bolus food.
No.
Once I get a handful and I just shove it in my fucking gullet, I'm like,
Okay, we're not starting this again. We're not starting this again. No. Stop it.
I really like the first 1-star review in history episode. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that was a great starter. I want to say, what was the episode that surprised you the most that you liked that you didn't know that you were gonna like?
That's a
I
really
expect
good
to like
question.
all of them.
Uh-huh.
For me, that was Chef Boyardee. I had no idea where that was going,
Okay,
that blew my mind.
I'm
That was a
gonna
great episode.
I'm gonna piggyback you on that one because I fucking love that one.
I loved the Chef Boyardee episode.
The Queen
It
of
was so
Magic one,
good.
while depressing, it was fantastic.
Oh, that was good.
Mhm.
I mean, I know someone whose favorite episode was that. Like they love that
I
episode
liked-
so much.
I liked
Call
researching
him out.
that one.
Call him out.
No,
Call him out.
Justin's mom said she liked it. Hey, Justin's mom.
I'm not
Hey,
giving
Justin's
that,
mom.
I'm not giving that person satisfaction. Not
So I
Justin's
followed
mom,
Justin's
somebody
mom
else.
on Instagram, and I don't think she knows who I am outside of this voice. So she didn't follow me back.
That's
so
so funny.
Justin's mom, if you're listening to this, that was me.
I'm gonna follow Justin's
don't
mom
let
now.
him- don't let him
Where's-
follow you.
Where is she?
I also followed Justin's sister a long time ago. She did not follow me back. I don't think anyone knows who I am in that family apart from my voice. I'm just going to slowly start following every one of them. I think I got one left.
In the Chef Boyardee
They're all
episode,
just super creeped out looking through their follower
I was
list.
like, who the fuck is this guy?
we got
we
a
did-
weirdo here.
we didn't mention the best Chef Boyardee commercial of all
Oh
time.
yeah,
I love Chef.
I love Chef.
What?
It's the commercial where it's a girl and her mom at the store, and her mom's like, "No, you've had Chef every night this week. She goes,
Oh.
"Oh, I love Chef."
She's like, you're bloated as hell. You
And-
got so much salt in your body
and
that you're about to
sad
explode.
melancholy
You gotta
music
buy me
plays,
new
and she looks
shoes.
longingly over her shoulder at the can, and then the can falls off the shelf, and it starts rolling, and it follows their car home, and then it gets home, and she picks it up, and she like runs to her mom. It's like, yeah, I love it, Chef Boyardee.
Now, if
I
I
love
was
Chef.
that girl's mom, I would
I'd
have
be like,
thought
"Did
that
you
my
steal
child
that?"
stole that from the store.
Yeah.
Okay, I knew we were out of Boardie. Why is this can coming?
Why do you keep saying Boardie? You said that in the Boardie episode too.
Boyardee.
Okay. I grew up
Boyardee.
saying it like that because I'm stupid. Don't fucking change me, please. I am who I am. I'm also
I like it.
nasally.
I really, really, it's going back to older ones though. I really, really enjoyed Andrew's Upper Decker on wrestling. I thought that all the wrestling stories were really fun, especially like the old timey wrestlers
Jabronis.
who are like, that guy's a mark. Let's get him up here and see if he can beat me.
Yeah, that was
Fucking
good.
moron.
The one thing I wish he did about the episode, I wish he stuck with his original plan, was do the drawn out story, like the characters are playing and their backstories instead of doing
You
like
mean
history.
like in kayfabe,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
as if they were real people.
As
I,
real
you know, I
people.
think I might do that still. That
When you told me you were going to do that,
that
I'm like,
does sound fun.
please. Because I know, like, especially, I know a lot of wrestling we watch together, like that we will watch at the same time, not together. We never watch wrestling together. We should start doing that.
also that Zach has told a couple of stories that before we were just kind of info dumping on topics, but then I think Zach may have kicked it off with like the stories about certain things that actually happened. I think it may have been the whale ship Essex episode.
Such a
Look at the
good
list
episode.
here.
Yeah, I
That
find
was a
telling
great-
it in the
that's-
story.
Such a
Is
good episode.
It's a good approach to make sure Bo continues paying attention throughout the whole
It's
thing.
true.
I
Yeah,
still-
that was that. I'm looking through it. That is the
Zach,
first one that was
you
actually
had an
a
update
story.
on that one that you wanted to talk about, right?
No, not on the Essex one. I have an
Oh,
update.
right. This and the Enduring America one.
At the Enduring Antarctica one, I also
Antarctica.
was
Another
really
story?
happy with how that
Another
episode,
good one.
I was really
I like
happy
that
with
one.
how that one turned out.
Dude,
My major
that episode
update
was
to that
so
one,
long, and it kept us the whole time. I've re-listened to
it's a
that
good
episode on
story.
long drives, and I was like, "Fuck, dude, that did not have any downsides. That was a great episode."
Oh, another
That's a
good
good
one. Another good
My,
one. Utsi. I love the Iceman's one. I
Oh, yeah, the
fucking
Iceman's
love
is
The
that
Irish,
one.
the Irish guy.
yeah, the Iceman.
The Irish guy.
I love
And
that
the
Iceman.
precursor one, I really liked researching about the tattoos. That was
Yeah,
fun, and
that
it was fun
one
that
turned
one
out really
inspired
good.
Zach to then do one on Etsy. Oh, that was a good time.
That's just
Zach,
the
what was
best.
your update on the Antarctica?
I can't believe that I forgot to mention throughout the whole thing. So you remember Chippy McNeish?
The guy with the cat.
My favorite guy, yeah, the guy with the cat, and he was a little prickly and was the one who tried to revolt against the captain, do a mutiny against Shackleton. One thing that I forgot to mention is that I was reading his diary, and on a few occasions he mentioned that he was having a really bad day because his hemorrhoids were acting up, and so he had hemorrhoids the entire time. So he was dealing with that in
That
addition
sucks.
to all of the
Being
Antarctica
cold.
survival thing.
He's like, "Oh, what's worse?" He's like, "I'm so cold all the time. Oh no, my butthole."
So
What
that
was
a
your-
fun fact
what- so-
that I learned?
What was your favorite guest episode between the Justin?
Oh gosh.
And Evan
So the two
show.
guests we have.
Yeah, the two guests
Yeah.
that we've had. I really liked the one that, well, not because you weren't there, but the one that
Hey.
you weren't there for, where Justin told the story about the night witches.
Yes, I was going to say
Especially
that
because-
too. That was
That was
awesome.
the first micro mini dump, right?
Yeah, especially because after that episode came out, I found out that Sabaton has a song about the night witches, and it fucking rips too. So that was pretty good.
Hell yeah!
Which
I like-
one?
But that wasn't a guest episode. That wasn't a guest hosted episode. Who
Well,
was
it
it?
was the multi micro dump, so he was a host, and he was a
Was
co-host.
that Bodacious Facts with Your Best Buds, or was that?
Yeah,
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 that was,
that was the
that.
Bodacious
Okay,
Body
yeah,
Facts.
that's a really good one. I really like that
Yeah.
one.
I like it because
So, what was your favorite guest hosted one? Full guest host.
Mm.
Why didn't you spell that? Why didn't you spell it bodacious with my name? Why didn't you do that?
Because
You should spell it like Bo, like me. Ugh, fucking wasted opportunity. Go edit it and re-upload it, please.
Oh, because in the description I said, "What's wrong with Bo's bones?" and I spelled bones Beaun,
Ah, you already
S,
made the pun.
and I didn't want to double down on the Bo puns.
Double down. It's funny to double down.
I really
All right.
liked the Vikings episode, and I
I'm
liked the
doubling down.
Mandela
I'm
Effect
changing it
episode
right now.
too.
This happened in
It's
real
hard
time.
to choose between the two because the Vikings one was really good. The Pirates one,
Pirates one was amazing.
The pirate
was
They've
one
all
was
been
really
great.
good too. Fuck, every one of them. Now thinking back, like
All of our
even the
guests
last
have
one we
been-
just had,
have been
the unusual
amazing.
deaths. Like I think Evan's were more like we had a lot more laughter because Evan created a lot of imagery in our heads, and then Justin gave us a whole bunch of fucking cool information. So it's good on both sides of that coin.
Well,
Justin, make us laugh more. Come on.
I could tell you the one I don't like. The one I don't like. The one I wasn't in. I hate that one. Never listened to it. Refused to till this day.
Oh,
Wait, which one was he not in?
That's the Essex episode.
The Essex episode.
You weren't there.
You
for
should
that?
listen to it.
No.
It's a good one.
Oh yeah,
No,
because Justin was there.
Yeah, Justin was there.
And it was
That's
an
a really
amazing
good
episode.
episode.
Sorry. Bill.
That was like that's one of our best. But to fill everyone else in though, to our most popular episodes, I don't know if people want to hear about this. We could tell you.
Okay.
I would like. Yeah.
I don't want to know. Hold on. I'm gonna la 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 la.
Most popular episode. Bo, do you want to guess? Because I feel like you don't know. I think everyone else knows.
Okay. Obviously it's not one
I'll give you top 5. I'll give you the top 5.
Okay. Most popular. Let's go.
Did you forget which one you hosted?
I only hosted one.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that one.
I hosted 2 actually. Well, I did 3 actually. 'Cause 2 cop out, 1 I actually hosted.
Well, you did the video game
I did the video
history
game,
episode,
and I did the slice
which
of life.
still needs a part 2, by the way.
The idioms one too. The idioms is a really good episode.
Yeah, the
I like
idioms
the
one was
idioms.
fun.
The idioms was good.
I did do
All right,
that.
so
Oh my god! Look at me go.
But what do you think? What do you think number 1 was though? Best of the year.
It's got to be The Dentist. I don't know. I really don't know.
It is episode 40, The Mandela Effect, with Evan hosting. This is still our most popular episode.
Everyone
probably
loves the
because
Mandela effect.
Yeah, and I'm sure that it has something to do with Evan. Evan seems like the kind of guy who has a lot of people who.
Evan's
listen to this
extremely
podcast
charismatic.
episode.
I have some updates about the Mandela effect. Go ahead, Bo.
I hate the first 5 minutes of the episode.
Oh, because you weren't there.
Because you weren't there.
Jesus.
Well, can I say that you're maybe the most narcissistic person I know?
Yeah, go ahead. Because I know that too. I love me more than anybody else in this world.
In a previous episode, I had talked
you
about
love yourself more than you love anyone else.
Ash, just take it. Just take it.
You
Ash,
love
just take it.
yourself more than anyone else loves you.
My tier list goes me.
Ash, I'll cut them
no
out.
one
Just start
else.
talking.
I had talked on a previous episode about this conspiracy theory that I saw on TikTok that was like, oh, they're erasing the cornucopia to cover up like crimes that they did, terrible crimes. But that was just TikTok slander. I didn't look into it at all. But it turns out that that's TikTok slander. So the mystery of the cornucopia still exists. Andrew, you brought this up in our chat. You messaged us
We're shamed for it.
that there was a patent that was filed in the 70s from Fruit of the Loom, and cornucopia is mentioned in the description. But
Yep.
it's for the 70s for laundry detergent, and in the picture that they submitted of the copyright image, there's no cornucopia. So it's in the description, but it's not in the actual image.
So it could have existed somewhere.
There was a Reddit post a couple of weeks ago of the Fruit of the Loom sign on the side of a building with the cornucopia. But then somebody else tracked it down, and it was like the picture from the Mandela Effect articles, and some intern printed out the wrong picture for a sign.
So wait, you said it was for fabric softener though?
It's for laundry detergent.
Laundry detergent. Well, what do you put in your laundry?
Don't. You just
Your Fruit of the Loom.
You're done.
So like they
You're
were trying to
done.
attack it from both sides. So
I
maybe
didn't
like
even
the
know
Fruit of
this-
the Loom was the underwear and the cornucopia was the washer in their eyes.
Okay, sure.
That's where they put it in
And then,
there.
so I could not confirm any advertising or products or commercial uses of cornucopias. Like I saw commercials from the 80s. They were men in costume. They were called the Fruit of the Loom guys.
Yeah, they were in
And
the
it-
fruits.
I remember
And
those.
The
it was
grape-
the green grape, the red grape, the apple, and what was the last one?
Purple grape.
Banana?
The leaf. It's just a fucking leaf.
That represents the cornucopia.
No.
Yeah.
You should stop it.
So there's some pictures online of cornucopias on Fruit of the Loom shirts. I'll send you one. But there's the big debate, like,
Holy fuck.
Can you see the pixels? Is
I
it
can.
Photoshop?
I absolutely can see that.
So
Wait, what's that website where you can put an image in and it'll look at the compression artifacts to determine if it's photoshopped or not?
compressionthis.com.
Compression artifact on t-shirt.org.
.gov.
I'm making shit up. Either way, that was
.com.
our most popular episode, Mandela Effect.
and then I saw somebody say, a couple people on a Reddit post that said they think that the confusion comes from, at least for New Englanders, the Katsorubus Bros logo, and I'll send it to you. And I'd like you to describe it.
Englander.
Wow.
Yeah, that looks
Okay,
like Fruit of the Loom.
Ash just sent a picture
Fruit of the
a
Loom?
picture
Oh,
of the cat
Fruit of the Loom.
Cerberus Bros. There's a bunch of fruit and a leaf falling out of a cornucopia. Someone dropped a cornucopia full of fruit and leaf.
And so maybe East Coasters
That
saw
looks
this
exactly
a lot.
okay. Hold on,
Gifts
that
were
looks
given to them.
exactly
It's
almost like
it's a mirrored image.
the one that you sent before.
Literally, it's
Okay,
a mirror.
It's not
that-
exactly
It's
because
flipped.
you-
It's flipped.
you
It's
can see it though. Like it's not exactly, but it's close.
It's not exactly
That image that you sent is not photoshopped, but that doesn't mean that it's not also a bootleg product.
That's true. Bootleg
Wow.
products, that could be a thing. So, and then we also talked about the Monopoly Man's monocle. And I found out that it turns out in 1996 editions of Monopoly Junior published internationally, so the UK, Germany, and the Netherlands confirmed, the $2 note, the €2 note, had Mr. Monopoly with a monocle.
So
Confirmed.
my
Aaron's a
other-
fucking liar.
Is it just, does Mr. Peanut have a monocle? Was it just our brains combining?
That's what we said in the episode,
Monopoly Man
that
and
people
Mr.
are
Peanut?
combining Mr. Peanut and Mr. Monopoly.
Someone said that, and Bo very famously said, "I do not confuse a man with a peanut."
Man with a
Oh,
peanut.
yeah.
Did you know that the Monopoly Man has a name?
Rich
It's
Uncle
Fred.
Pennybags.
It's Milburn Pennybags, aka Rich Uncle Pennybags.
Mm.
Milburn?
Milburn Pennybags.
Is he
That's
from
a rich
Australia?
guy.
And they named
It's
him
a rich
after
guy
the city, but wrong.
That's Melbourne.
Yeah,
But as you can see from the image I just posted, this is a two note, and it has a monocle confirmed.
cool.
So it does
Interesting.
exist.
They do.
Now, is
exist.
that the version that I played as a boy?
Did you play the European version for some reason?
I don't know. As a worldly child.
Oh, Mr. Worldwide.
Were you though?
No,
I
not
feel
really.
like- yeah.
But you know,
Awesome.
things get like things have weird lives. You know, there's a strange path to every object.
Is there?
Yeah, things can end up in places that you wouldn't expect.
You talking about your butt?
Because you're from an alternate universe.
he's talking
I
about
thought we were
his
talking
Well,
about
no, I
Mandela
was
effects.
just gonna say like
Yeah,
some
but-
European guy could like bring it home as like a souvenir from like a trip to Europe, and then they're like, actually, why the fuck do I have this? And then they're like,
You're like, hey,
fucking-
random stranger on the street, and you're like, my name is Zach, and they throw it at you.
Like a thrift store or something?
And then they like donate it to Goodwill or whatever.
Or like
and then
the church.
and then a teacher who's like,
You're
I'm a
from
teacher. I don't
Connecticut.
have much
You've
money.
never been to a Goodwill.
I go to Goodwill all the time. What are you
I'm just
talking
kidding.
about?
Making a joke. Connecticut people are fancy.
Oh, also, do you guys want to learn something about Cheez-Its that I learned after I did the Dippy into Chippy episode?
Well, real quick, our number 2 episode. Bo, you want to guess?
Yeah. Get spooked on. Ooh.
Wrong. Completely wrong. Number 2, comfort foods, rice cakes, and madness. So speaking
Hey,
of
that was a good
food,
episode.
That makes sense.
Ash, go ahead and give us a little update on the other episode.
Learned about Cheez-Its after I did the Dippy into Chippy episode. I'll pose a question to you all who have eaten Cheez-Its. So anyone who has eaten Cheez-Its can answer this question.
It's Cheez-It cracker. There's no S.
Are Cheez-Its square or rectangular?
Square?
Square.
They are rectangular. They're rectangular. When the Green and Green Company
They feel it in their
introduced
bones.
Cheez-Its, they were 1 inch by 1 inch. But today, they're 26 by 24 millimeters or 1.02.
Okay, millimeters. Come
or
on.
1.02 by 0.94 inches. They are
No,
technically,
they're square.
they're a rectangle.
I don't want to be
Wow.
Cheez-It explained by the
They are
millimeter.
rectangular.
I think
They
that's
are
dumb.
not a circle.
I hate that.
Technically, it's a
No.
rectangle.
I hate it. I hate that. What about our third favorite episode, or third most popular episode, Bo?
Oh yeah.
What's your third most popular episode?
How smart is Monkey?
That's not a good episode. I feel like I didn't organize that one the best. That's not one of my
I
favorites.
thought it was a great episode. I got some good feedback on that from some friends. The third
glad- if you
most
liked it, I'm
popular
glad.
episode was episode 39, Enduring Antarctica.
That was such a good. That's
Hey.
such a good story.
That goes to show, even a 2-hour long episode can be popular.
I'm glad that one's popular because I spent a long time working on it.
You
making
did.
sure that it was really well organized.
It did. And it gave
it was
actually
really
helped
good.
me.
It was amazing.
I learned in that episode, and then I went to trivia the next week with my wife because we do Monday night trivia at a bar up here, and I got I got a question right about Shackleton. It was who made it to Antarctica first between the three of Shackleton, the Nordic guy, and the last guy who died.
Oh, Amundsen and Scott.
Yeah. And it was like, who got there first? And I was like, oh, it's Amundsen. And they were like, oh my God, you're so smart. And I was like, I know.
Thanks to my friend Zach.
So 2 episodes have had
You
real
don't
world
think
impact.
he never gave credit to Zach?
Nice.
He took all credit himself.
And the next, the 4th most popular episode is another Zach classic, 33 1/3 History of Vinyl Records.
Hey,
That it is.
I never said what my most valuable record in my collection was.
Because you
What is
love them all the same. Like, it's hard to pick one. It's like a favorite child.
that's not-
Don't ask
that's
me.
not how-
Why are you talking like that?
That's my
That's
Zach
not how
impression.
value works.
Oh, my name is Zach. Hello.
Oh, hello. You got to hear
Wow.
Would you like to
Records
hear my
and
vinyl
birds.
records?
And
Everyone
boats.
knows physical media is the best media.
Goldfish, but I've never
Wow,
chewed.
there's so many Zachs in the room right now.
Jesus Christ. What's your favorite? What's your favorite? What?
Well,
Okay.
it's just, I've got some good records in my collection. The real,
He said,
the
what's
real
your
ones.
It's so hard to pick him.
He
Number
said,
one
I
was-
I know
know
that
Only
I've
say
got-
one single one.
I have an original pressing of gatefold pressing of Realm of Chaos by Bolt Thrower with the first cover art that is the licensed licensed artwork from the rule book
You gonna say Warhammer?
the first edition of Warhammer 40,000 Rogue
Oh my God.
Trader. And in subsequent repressings, they couldn't relicense the artwork from Games Workshop, so they replaced it with a different work of art by the same artist, actually, also by John Sibic. But I like the this one because it also has in the gatefold, and it has. I actually managed to get a copy that includes the booklet, and the gatefold and the booklet all have tons of really good Old Hammer artwork from John Sibic and John Blanche and the other guy whose name I'm forgetting. It's a really high quality.
So that's
piece
your-
of piece of
That's
stuff.
your favorite
And
one?
the record sounds really great too. It's like early Bolt Thrower from like when they were still kind of grindcore influenced, but you can still like get that really good rhythm section that they have. Joe Bench is a great bassist. It's pretty great. I love it a lot.
And our final top 5 favorite episode, I think it's just because of
How
people
long it's
starting
been on
the podcast. It's episode 1 with Burn Nerds.
Hey,
People
Burn
usually
Nerds.
start with the beginning. You know what?
Although-
I'll give it to you.
How come you didn't let me guess?
Oh.
Bo, what do you think it is?
I don't know. I don't listen.
Although I'm happy to see in the top 10 new old things and some old new things, because that's kind of like a pre
I like their early work better.
multi micro dump one, because it was me just like researching a lot of random facts, which is my favorite thing. So like that was fun, and then it inspired the multi micro dump episodes. So
Yeah, that was a really
that's a good one. I'm glad people liked it. I liked researching it. It was fun.
Okay, now we've talked about the best. We've talked about the most popular. We talked about our favorite guests. What's your most hated episode? Number 1.
Dentist.
And not because you hate yourself.
Dentist, because I hate myself.
You can't say like, oh,
okay,
I
I
didn't
have
prepare
one.
well for that one, so I hate that one because I did it bad.
I
No, none of that
I
shit.
have one. I didn't love the Wikipalooza episode.
Wow.
You just didn't like the game at the end because we talked about Hitler a lot.
I actually, that was my most favorite part of it, because we were like having fun, doing fun times. It was just kind of a lot of like, it was fun, but it just wasn't my favorite thing to listen to.
Yeah, I don't know if it translated extraordinarily well to the podcast episode format.
I liked it as a big Wikipedia guy myself. I was happy to be represented.
But
And-
Bo, what did you not like? What was your worst? What episode makes you go?
The one he wasn't
"Fuck"?
in.
The one I wasn't in.
Okay, well, one that you were in. What do you hate?
Oh, the first 5 minutes of the episode of the Mandela
You're just going to have
Effect.
to move on, Andrew. What about you, Andrew? Which one do you not like?
Can I answer, please? I already said it was the dentist from the beginning.
You
I said the dentist at the beginning.
didn't like the dentist one?
It's because it's just the visual imagery in my head will never go away, and I hated it. Zach's a good storyteller. There's nothing against Zach. I just hated the episode, and it just kept me
you just hate
thinking.
Zach.
I hate Zach. I hate him. I fucking hate him.
Yeah, you know you love Zach and you want to kiss him.
Yeah. Come
I
here.
just saw him recently too.
And we did kiss. It was
Andrew, what
great.
about you?
We ate pizza in the rain.
Huh.
Yeah.
Got a cannoli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had cannolis in the rain.
We had cannolis in the rain.
It was just a rainy day.
yeah, it was just raining. But we had a good time. Me and Zach in Boston living it up.
Yeah.
Andrew, what was your least favorite?
Scrolling through the episodes and just looking at the names,
Oh, I know which one is my least favorite.
I'm gonna have to agree with Bo on that one. I think that the dentist one really made me feel uncomfortable.
I made me feel
Oh,
uncomfortable,
thanks.
but I kind of liked it.
For me, that's a success because I wanted you to feel uncomfortable.
It was very
So it
popular
works
though.
out.
Like, it's one of our popular
you were,
episodes.
again, like you said, you were good with the visual like storytelling, and like it made me hate you. I hated you.
Thank
like,
you.
I had to take a couple days away from you because I hated you. Because of that.
What about you, Zach?
My least favorite episode is actually the first 1-star review in history episode.
Oh,
What?
It was so
Yeah.
good.
No, well,
Why?
Because
He said you can't do it if you hate yourself. He said that's not a reason.
no, it's not because I hate myself. It's because it is kind of because I hate myself. It's because
Then that's not the
It's
answer.
because I fell for a prank and it's because I fell for a prank while I was researching it.
You got bamboozled, so you're ashamed. I get it.
No, but
Yeah.
okay.
And
what
one of the
episode do you hate
But Andrew
that
said that
doesn't
doesn't
involve
count.
you?
one of the tablets that I read was a joke and a reference to a book that I've read, and I didn't get the reference, and I read it as though it was an actual tablet. And I feel like a real
Cool story.
dingus.
What's your favorite? What's your worst? What's a heavy?
Why are we talking about ones we don't like?
Because I'm curious. I'm
Yeah.
curious, like which ones you guys didn't like. What's a retrospective? We got to talk about good and bad.
Okay, all right.
Well, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything mean about other people on the podcast.
Why
I
do you
have-
hate Bo's episode? Just say why.
I can figure it's coming that way. Which episode of mine you don't like? Go ahead.
I don't have one.
Okay, I just got.
Don't be that guy.
Well, I
Don't be
can't
that
think
guy.
of any. Okay, I don't.
Scroll through the list of them.
I'm scrolling.
We can go. Okay, how about we go back to Ash?
Here's the thing: is that all of the episodes
No, I
that I
did.
don't like are ones because the ones that I don't like are the
you did,
ones
yes, right,
that
that's right.
I can think of. Like are the ones that are mine because I can think of ways that I could have done them
But he
better.
really hates answering questions.
We're not leaving until you answer the question.
You have to answer the question. This is a stick up.
Mm-hmm. Put them up.
Put the question in the bag and nobody gets hurt.
I'm gonna take back.
Answer.
I'm gonna take back our wonderful trip to Boston we had together in the rain.
Aw.
Oh, a podcast about nothing. I actually don't remember that one at all. I don't remember at
Yeah.
all what we talked about.
That was open mics.
Yeah, the
That's
podcast
when-
about nothing one kind of split off of my brain.
That was just Zach talking about movies for an
He was talking
hour.
about Terminator, and
I
then-
like we
No, he was talking
should
about
be a movie
He was
podcast.
talking
That'd be
about
great.
He was talking about RoboCop for like half the episode, which I love. But that's why I loved it.
And then it also trickled into the next episode too. That's how much he talked about
He
RoboCop.
loves RoboCop.
I love RoboCop.
I have some updates that I'd like to go through if y'all want.
I would love to hear that once Zach answers the question.
yes, I told you we cannot continue on until
Mm.
this man. You're at this point. You're holding us hostage instead of us holding you
Yeah.
hostage.
And the more you don't answer the question, the more shocked I'm going to be when you answer it. So you might want to just knock it out real quick.
Yeah.
Mm.
Crap. Dead air. You know how much I hate dead air.
I don't. The historical trends of drinking in college one was a little weird.
That was a great episode. You are a what? You son of a bitch. That was such a good episode.
Well,
That's what we learned about your dad's nickname in college.
Well,
Mr.
yeah,
Crouch.
that's why. It's because I shouldn't have told that
It's
story.
because he hates
Yeah,
himself
but you
again.
can't.
It's
But you
'cause
can't
he
hate
hates
yourself here.
himself
You have to
again.
answer the question.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's like pulling teeth. It's like the dentist
Can we
episode
just
again.
move on,
It's
please?
the dentist episode all
Just pick
over
one of my
again.
episodes. You hate the video game episode. I hate it too. I hate
I liked the video
it.
game.
I
episode.
hated it.
I liked the video game episode.
I didn't like it.
I think you should do more.
Once a year. Once a year.
Yeah, once a year. I think that maybe your chronology got kind of looped around on itself a couple of times
It did.
in the video
It
game
did. Oh,
episode.
so that's it. Okay, he picked his answer because he's now critiquing it. I
Okay,
appreciate
all
it.
right. He did it. He did it. He did
I
it.
can't believe you
Okay.
would attack Bo like this on the
Piece of
podcast. I'm
shit.
so sorry.
I'm
Bo.
gonna
I
make a
defended
really
you.
rough turn.
I don't
and
want to say anything
something
mean
sad.
about Bo's episodes because then he'll quit the podcast.
He
Again.
quits every day.
Bo tries to quit. Oh, yeah, for those who listening now and are not in our Discord, Bo threatens to quit and has quit
I've also retired.
30
Yeah,
times,
a lot.
I have quit and retired.
40 times, so many times,
I have
almost weekly.
I have a bummer update. Do you want a bummer update?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, rip
Well,
off that band-aid.
We were talking the hockey episode, which was a very good episode. I learned so much about hockey. I learned that they call them shifts when they fucking go on the ice. That's crazy. I still think about it. But someone died of what you were talking about in that when someone
Yeah.
got their neck sliced.
Yeah,
in,
that
in
was
a UK
so. That
league.
was the week after I recorded that episode with you guys, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this guy got his throat cut. It's crazy, but no one's died from it." And then fucking 5 days later, it happened.
That's
in real life.
super
Wild.
sad. And now they're
Crazy timing.
they're making everyone wear neck guards.
No, they're not making everyone do it. People can if they want to, but they're not.
The
It's-
English
like-
Ice Hockey Association said that it requires.
Oh, that one, yeah, They don't matter.
Well, because it happened in the UK.
If I was a hockey player, I would take the opportunity to wear like a really fancy gorget.
Well, now if you play in the UK, you have to
Yeah.
under the Elite League.
I would spend the money and have an armorer make me a nice etched gorget with some filigree on it.
I think he's making up words.
I think he is too. I
That's the next piece of a
this
suit of armor.
This is the one
I will
time.
say.
Go ahead.
What,
No, go ahead. I want to say that was the one time dead air would have been okay after him making up words.
It's not dead air. It's fine. It's not a made up word, is what I meant to say.
It's fine. No, but yeah,
But Andrew,
yeah,
as someone who is in my family and I care about and who plays hockey, please be very careful and don't get your neck cut because that's so scary.
I'm very tall, super tall. I'm good.
Oh, look at me.
I was gonna say like
What
most
if you
of
fall down?
I don't fall. Most everyone who I play with, I play in a bunch of leagues and I play every single weekend for multiple teams. I've only seen two guys wear neck guards after that thing, and there's a lot of people. So
okay, but you've broken your finger like 7 times. You sprained your elbow. You've had 1,000 concussions.
That's fine.
You complain a lot about my body hurts.
I don't remember anything. I don't even remember my wife's name.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my
Jimmy.
Who?
Jarvis. I think that's her name.
Oh, Bo. I have some updates that you might like.
Oh, okay. I love me some good news.
I've been getting a lot of orca news since we talked about orcas, and I was researching orcas.
Hell yeah.
So I have some orca news. Orcas are moving.
One of them got its throat cut by a skate.
Playing skate.
Oh no.
Skate hockey in the ocean.
Are moving into San Diego because of a warm spot of water that's called the Blob.
Oh.
It's a big area of water that stays warm, and it moves up and down the Pacific coast, bringing with it fish and marine life and orcas. So if you're in San Diego, there's a much higher chance now that you'll see an orca than ever before. And if the Blob sticks around, they could stick around.
Oh my god, please Blob.
I heard that the orcas are going to try and take back SeaWorld by force and force the humans to do tricks.
Oh, I would perform for them.
I would perform.
I drove past SeaWorld the other day, like when I was in California, and I was driving to the airport, and I was like, I didn't know the place still existed because I thought they shut it down. But 2, there's like roller coasters and shit now.
Yeah.
Like,
there's not that many animals
like
left at SeaWorld.
Good. I mean, good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be real. Like if it's an aquarium, that's cool.
Yeah,
if they take care of them, like they're not making them do flips and shit and, kill their trainers, totally fine.
There are 18 captive orcas at SeaWorld parks in the United States.
I really can't conceptualize an aquarium tank that would be big enough for an orca, though.
That doesn't exist. It's called the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one in Atlanta, it's like the biggest one in the United States, I think. That one.
The one where they have a whale shark?
Yeah, it's pretty huge. It's pretty fucking sweet. Massive.
I went there like 15 years ago. And I wanted to go back ever since. It's so cool.
Let's go.
I saw the whale shark. Yeah, let's go.
You and me.
Let's go to Atlanta.
Let's go to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Someone's acting hot Atlanta. Who would have thought?
Ooh.
It's right next to the Coca-Cola factory.
Yeah, we can go to the Coca-Cola factory. I also want to go to the Coca-Cola factory.
I don't drink
I remember there was a guy. What was his name?
You could go with Zach and just have a nice time and hold hands. Gosh.
I could do that.
When we went to the Coca-Cola factory, there was a guy who was like taking tickets and stuff, and he looked like he was seeing spiders, man. That guy was cracked out on something. It was pretty funny.
I mean, Atlanta is a very interesting place.
Yeah.
With very interesting people.
I guess not cracked out.
I lived in that state for a little bit, and let me tell you. Yeah.
I have another animal-related update as well. Y'all remember Otter 841?
Oh yeah, we were. But weren't they still at large by the time?
Yes, she is still. They have not caught her because
what a bad bitch.
She's a mother now. She had a pup. So she's a mother. She stopped her life of crime.
They haven't caught her.
They've seen her with her pup because they were able to spot her and like know what area she was in, but they were never able to like actually nab her. And they started seeing her with a pup, and she stopped approaching people and she stopped eating surfboards. And so they've currently stopped looking for her. There are no plans to capture her at this time. She did it.
I think she stole that many surfboards and she built herself a mansion under the sea for her baby.
Yeah.
That's my headcanon.
It was it's like in GTA. She got 5 stars. She evaded the cops long enough. They stopped looking for her.
They're like, well, you know what? You bested us. You win.
There's also a new animal criminal on the loose since we did the animal criminals episode. It's Neil the Seal.
I fucking
Neil the
love
Seal,
Neil.
baby.
I fucking
Neil
love
the
Neil
Seal.
so
who do you think
much.
impregnated Otter 841?
That's
Bo, you want to tell us
gross.
about Neil?
Neil is it New Zealand or Australia?
It's in Tasmania,
Tasmania.
which is an island off the coast of Australia.
Basically, this seal just said, "Fuck it, this is my home now," and he doesn't terrorize the town, but he kind of just does what he wants, and then he lays.
He's a nuisance.
He's a nuisance, but this motherfucker will just go lay in the middle of the road, and people were like, "Neil, you gotta go." He goes, "Fuck you, I'm here."
He's like the town drunk, but like
people,
Yeah.
people
seal.
open their back door, and Neil's just in their backyard. Like, Neil, get out of here.
He's like, no.
He's a 1,300-pound southern elephant seal.
Oh, he big boy.
My TikTok
He's
feed,
so good.
my TikTok feed got full of Neil, and I was so happy that it stayed too. And I was like, I got to get my daily Neil updates. I love
There's
that.
videos of him fucking up traffic cones,
Yeah,
blocking
wait,
roads,
he
blocking
hates-
driveways.
he
He
hates
prevented
traffic
someone from
cones.
going to work one day.
They called
He
into work
hates
saying I
traffic
can't go
cones.
to work because Neil's blocking.
There's
me.
a seal behind my car.
Can't go to work. Neil's in the way.
My favorite Neil the
I don't know
Seal
how they
fact
talk
is that
that way
he's got a funny little patch on top of his head because they put one of those like tracking devices on his head that they put on seals. And he was like, absolutely not, and like rubbed his head on the ground until it came off.
What a guy.
They also
Classic.
he was an internet sensation. People love him. He was getting a lot of attention. Some people were going up to him. There's like a couple reports of people like getting close enough to touch him, and so the government was like, absolutely not.
No,
You cannot go up
don't
to
do
wild
that.
seals. You can't bother them. So we're going to relocate Neil for his and your safety. And so they relocated him. And then like a couple days later, people on the southern part of Tasmania were like, that's just Neil. He's just here now. He just went to the other side of the island.
Good old Neil.
So yeah, don't go up to wild animals. And I love Neil so much.
What if I want to give him like a trophy for being
You just
amazing?
you have to put it down and then hope he comes to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with that.
Just
I'll
like-
make it look like a traffic cone so he takes it.
Oh no, he's not gonna take it. He's gonna fight
He's
it.
gonna slam his giant body
I'm fine with
against
that.
it repeatedly.
That's a win. That's a win.
Neil Seal hates this traffic codes. Don't block Neil.
Oh, I love that guy. What a
That's
great
awesome.
guy.
What other updates you got, Ash?
That's it. That was all the updates that I had.
No. I thought there'd be more notes like about the Bigfoot one. Be like, heads up, Bigfoot still's not real.
Bigfoot's real.
Oh, yeah. I
Confirmed.
There's so much stuff going on with that sort of situation. I can't believe that I forgot to mention in the light episode, I made 0 references to the orcish.
The light episode?
In the blue episode, I made 0 references to the orcish color theory in Warhammer 40,000.
Oh, God.
The orcs have a gestalt psychic field. They all have
This is not
latent
real, right?
They all have latent psychic abilities. And basically what it amounts to is that the more the orcs believe that something should happen, it happens. And this is
What?
mostly is kind of reflected in the fact that like all of their guns are really shittily put together and shouldn't work, but because they think that they work, they will work. And that like all of their cars and like vehicles and stuff are just like a bunch of scrap like welded together, and like there's no reason why it should work, but because they think it works, it works. And a big part about the orcs is that colors have special powers. And so in the game, this is just like so that if you paint your orcs one color or another,
What did that
you'll get
hold
different
on.
you'll get different like buffs. But the best one is that the orcs believe that red stuff goes faster, and so they paint all of their cars red, which will result in game all of the red cars will go faster. They have more movement speed. But because the orcs believe that red things can go faster, their psychic field affects reality and makes red stuff go faster. And then like blue stuff is lucky. And so there's a clan of orcs called the Death Skulls, and they paint themselves blue, and it means that you can re-roll your dice. But it's
Oh my god.
makes you luckier.
Oh
This
my
is
God.
now my least favorite episode.
Oh my god. I zoned out and then you kept talking.
It's
What happened? What
That
happened?
wasn't
is
even
fun.
an update. That was
Didn't-
just Zach talking about Warhammer.
What
is
happened?
He
is
just
red
wanted to
the
talk about
slowest
Warhammer.
light?
Red is the
What
slowest
was
light,
like the
which is why
thinking
it's
part
funny.
though? You're like, oh yeah, like about light. So they were thinking about things
Well,
and
it's
they
about
made
blue.
it happen.
It's about blue.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it's yeah,
What-
It's funny that
What did
red is the slowest light, but they think it's the fastest thing.
exactly.
Kerchow.
And yellow makes things more explodey.
Oh, but still, that's not an update.
You just need to do a Warhammer episode, Zach.
These two will hate it, so I'm not going
I'm
to
gonna
do
be
it.
sick that day. I'm gonna be sick that day. Justin, you're up.
I mean, as much as I would
Respect the
love to do an
podcast.
episode talking about Warhammer, at the end of the day, Warhammer is just a bunch of shit that like a bunch of cokeheads in England made up in the 80s. So it's like it's just stuff that people made up. So it's not as like intriguing of an episode.
Everything
to talk
is something
about.
people made up, though.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
except
true.
for like history.
How can mirrors be real if
History.
our eyes aren't even real?
Warhammer was
Well-
created by a bunch of nerds in England who loved Dune
He's still
and
talking
cocaine
about Warhammer.
and hated
Oh my God, we
Margaret
have to stop
Thatcher.
him.
I think you've said that exact thing on this podcast before.
I don't know.
believe I
Maybe.
heard you say hated Margaret Thatcher before.
Yeah.
I mean, any sane person would hate Margaret Thatcher. She's the worst. And it's a good thing that she's dead.
So speaking of our favorite
Shit.
retrospective about the year, that's it.
That's a pretty good year. I mean, we
Let's go
talked a
ahead and
lot.
wrap
We
that
talked
up.
about a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
And Zach continues to still talk about a lot of stuff.
and he
Let
will
us
continue
know
even without this
what
podcast.
your favorite
The
episode of the
podcast
Yeah,
year
tell
started
us what your
because you
favorite
guys are
episodes
trying to
were.
shut me up.
I want to
So
hear. I
let
want to
us
hear from
know
y'all.
how many times you thought Zach should have stopped.
What episodes did
talking
you
minutes
like?
Before.
What episodes do you want to hear more of? Let us
Yeah.
know.
If
I
you
know,
think that I
definitely got more
shouldn't shut up,
stories
let me
coming.
know so that I can share DMs with these two and be like, actually, people like it when I don't shut up.
Tell us all your opinions. You could do it at Get Dumped On Podcast on Instagram. You can send us an email at getdumpedompodcast@gmail.com. We have a Reddit subreddit apparently
Oh,
that
I
I don't
forgot
know
about
the
that.
name of.
I actually think it's been closed because nobody posted on it.
Oh,
for-
never mind.
That's
We don't.
hilarious. We gotta make another one.
Just do it. Just do it on Instagram or send us an email. That's the best right now.
I totally forgot about
Do we
that.
have the app formerly known as Twitter account?
Are you talking about X?
No.
No, we don't.
You can't
have
say,
an
"Do
X
we have an
account.
X account?" That sounds. It's A, either dirty or B, redacted.
X account.
That's why it's stupid that Elon Musk named it that. Fucking idiot.
So
I
it's
call- I
it's
call-
the app formerly known as Twitter account.
I call it X all the time
Why?
because I'm part of the problem.
Z.
He's a poser.
Get it? XYZ.
Oh, guys,
Oh,
Andrew, way to
got
come
him,
back.
Andrew.
All right, and on a joke. And on a joke. And on a joke.
Oh,
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Hey, thanks for joining us for our first year of this, and we'll have many more.
Yeah.
But we do have a special episode next week.
we have a special
It's very-
episode
very
next week.
special.
Yep.
Well, we said that this was a special episode, but this was more of
Yeah,
like a
this episode is supposed to
hang
it's
out.
supposed to be coming out before the next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the 1 year, the technical 1 year episode is going to be special. This one was special. That one's special. Listen, all of our episodes are special in my heart.
Zach
Except
special.
for one.
And then we might change the format a little bit next
More Bo.
Year.
Get ready, motherfuckers. More me.
where we have
You're
bigger
screwed
researched
now.
episodes every other week, and then a little more nonsensey type episodes in the interim, just to give us a little more time to make amazing episodes. And
You don't have to explain to the people that that's behind the curtain
oh,
shit.
this is a behind the curtain episode, Andrew.
Oh, fuck.
Get ready for the 30-minute
shit.
episode of me just talking to myself.
All right, real quick before we leave, what is your favorite behind the scenes thing that you think that people would love to know about us, either with planning or just living?
Why don't you start that off for us?
Yeah.
When Bo messes up every recording.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say.
Every single time, whether it be accidentally unplugging his microphone, having to re-record, using the wrong microphone. Bo, if there's one thing you're consistent at,
Pooping,
it's doing that.
Oh, I do gotta poop a lot during this show.
I think there's been one
watching
episode
football, eating macaroni with
where
his bowl
I didn't have
sounds.
to do some fucking movie magic editing to make it work. So good job, Bo.
Yeah, wait. But Andrew, what's your complaint about each of our audio files when it comes
as
to
the
editing?
editor.
Yeah.
In general, everyone clicks their tongue too much, including myself.
I do not.
I hate that so much, and we do it constant. All of us do it constantly. Bo's always a little too quiet, but also a little too loud at the same time. Zach says 1,000 times. Ash, you're fine actually.
Yay, let's go. I'm perfect.
I don't really have anything to say about yours. Yours are always fine. Maybe you cough every once in a while. That's not
That's
a
true.
complaint. That's
I do
just
cough,
being
yeah.
a human.
How
Yeah,
dare you?
people
fucking
do coughing.
cough.
And my arm that holds my microphone is old, and so it creaks a lot. So sometimes there's just like 10 seconds of me trying to like lift up my microphone, and it's just like creaky and loud. But I don't know how annoying that
Mhm.
is.
It's not.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's fine.
Okay.
It's not as annoying as having to drag the entire track over and all of us over to match Bo's new spot and try to match him up.
I get uncomfortable. I'm sorry.
My current behind the scenes fact is that Barnaby is looking at me. He's sitting on my desk and looking at me. Hey, buddy.
He came up here and looked at
It's
me
the
first
best.
and then went down to bother you.
Somebody needs attention.
My behind the
Barnaby,
scenes
friend of the
fact
podcast.
is I'm always browsing my computer. I'm always on the internet.
Bo's most likely watching football no matter what we're doing. If football is on.
All behind the scenes, we record on Thursdays. There we go. You
Bo
wanna know
also
when we do
will
that?
never tell us
Guess
he
what
wants to take a break to go to the bathroom. He'll just go to the bathroom.
And I'll let you.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys know I'm going to the bathroom. Do not call on me. But I'm
This
sitting
is
there.
not a live podcast.
call on me.
We could take a break.
But
We could take a break.
But as I'm pooping, I have my headphones listening, so I don't miss out.
And he's responding from the bathroom because no one can hear him. He's like, "Haha, good one, Zach."
I don't want to lose.
No.
I don't want us to lose the momentum. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're welcome, actually, for that.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah. Now, my behind the scenes fact is that also that I'm always constantly scrolling through the internet while we record as well.
so-
That's just because I need to look. I need different things to be looking at, like while people are talking. It helps me pay attention to people talking just by like seeing moving images. So I guess really what I need to do is put on like one of those baby sensory videos with the dancing pineapples or something while everyone's talking.
The Squirtle sax video. What? Who's the latest? Who's always late? There's always one.
Me.
It's
I
Zach.
think.
It's Zach.
It's been Zach lately. Before it was Bo.
It was
but
never me.
I think
Yeah,
Zach's
it's
in the
between Bo
background.
and Zach.
No bullshit.
At least I've never completely forgotten that we record.
It's true. Zach's pre-dumps have made us wait for upwards of 15 minutes before.
Yeah, they should start at least 5 to 10 minutes earlier than they do. But I am a slave. I am a slave to my intestinal system.
No, I'm
I
glad you
can't
do.
control.
It happens
Just do what
not
I do.
on this podcast too,
Poop during the podcast. It's easy.
where
It
we
does
have to
not-
go somewhere and I'll be like, okay, we have to leave in 5 minutes, and Zach will be like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom.
Dude, when we were in San Diego, we were leaving the Hash House Go-Go, and Zach was like, oh man, I should probably poop before we leave. And you were in there for so long, I forgot why we were standing outside of the restaurant.
Speaking of
I think
poop,
that's a different
It was
situation.
like 5 minutes.
It was a doozy.
I ate so much waffle.
And he doesn't have a
fried
gallbladder.
chicken, and I don't have a gallbladder.
oh, so I'll leave you guys with a fun fact before we go. Last week was the first time I pooped underground. Just let that know.
Oh,
Yeah, that-
I'm gonna need you to elaborate on that.
Well, you know that little marketplace we were trying to go to?
Oh
Right?
yeah.
The bathrooms are underground.
I'm going to need you to fill me in on this.
Whoa.
Wait, so you've never been like pooped in somebody's house with a basement bathroom
Oh,
before?
I live in California.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
okay.
dude, come over to my house. I'll let you poop down here whenever you want.
I can't. I don't think I can recreate.
I don't have a
that
bathroom. I just have a
experience.
hole in the ground.
Oh, cool. That's how that makes me feel more comfortable. I love big poop holes.
It's a poop hole. All right, Ash, take us out.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope that you liked hearing a little bit behind the scenes. I hope that if you haven't listened to any of the episodes we talked about that we liked, that you go back and listen to them. I hope that you're excited for the year episode. It's going to be a good one. And also all the episodes to come. We're excited to bring them to you. We really like doing this podcast. And we really thank you so much for listening. Every single one of you out there who's listening to this, thank you so much. It's a good time.
Yeah.
I quit.
Thanks for listening.
I quit. I'm done.
Thanks for
Get outta here.
giving
Yeah.
us the encouragement to continue doing this every week. You know, I like looking at I like seeing numbers go up, and you know, our numbers go up, and it's nice to see.
Shout out to all of our friends, though, who are listening.
But when someone says, hey, I really like this episode or this aspect of this episode, or I learned this thing, or did you know this thing about this other thing? Oh, it's just so great. It's the reason we do this podcast. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I beg of you, send us some feedback.
Shout some
Contact
names
us
out.
in some way.
Justin's
Talk to
family.
your friends. Justin's family. Mom,
Justin's
dad,
family.
sister, Justin's wife, Justin's new baby, Ollie.
Justin.
Yeah,
Justin.
Justin,
Evan.
I know
Dog.
Dylan,
His name
my
is
friend
Kyler.
Dylan listens to this podcast at
Hey.
least occasionally.
Brooke.
listens to this podcast at least occasionally. What's up, Brooke?
Your friend Kate?
Kate. What's up, Kate?
What's up,
Oh,
Kate?
You a little shout out to
And her
Jorge.
two
Jorge? What's up,
Dalmatian
Jorge?
puppies. What's up, Jorge?
Jorge.
I believe
Jorge's gonna. I think
Yeah.
Jorge wants to. He may want to. He may want to come and hang out with us. think I heard a little rumbling there. You might want to come
a
hang
new
out.
friend of the
You're
pod.
hungry. That rumbling's your tummy. You're hungry, buddy.
Oh,
I'm
maybe
gonna
I'll-
get some chicken nuggies.
Oh,
I'm gonna
good
bowl us up
McDonald's.
some chicken nuggies.
Shout out to my friend Morgan, my friend Joe.
Hey.
I'm running out of names. I forgot who I sent this to. Everyone who listens to this, if you know
I
me,
guess my girlfriend.
your name. There you go.
Go, Bo's girlfriend. Thanks for listening.
Hey.
She's
All right.
a nice lady.
Yeah.
Oh, you met her. Yeah. She's nice.
Goodbye.
Oh yeah, let's get out of here. Okay, bye.
Jack
Thanks for
off.
listening.
Okay,
Goodbye.
bye-bye.
And stay tuned next week for something super special.
Bye.
We're super excited about it.
This episode was supposed to be short. Oh, God.
Oh gosh, it was a
Okay.
regular episode.
Oh my
I
God,
told
we
you.
let Zach
I
talk.
fucking told you.
Guess what happened?
Okay.
His favorite episode.
It's not. Proportionally, it's not that much of
so
the
what-
episode.
Okay,
to
bye.
talk about.
Okay,
Zach
goodbye.
are super
We're-
smart. They
Level.
went to college and learned a bunch of stuff. And Zach and Ash, just again, I forgot. Zach is talking. You talk about Warhammer all the time. What happens when you put them
RoboCop.
together and you try to have a retrospective? They talk about other stuff, and now I'm gonna end this podcast. Dot, dot, dot.
I don't mess up that many recordings. Whatever.